Welcome to the Gardens and Graveyard channel. My name is Charisma, and today we're meeting in the front yard and we're going to do a little raised bed project and plant our tulips. Not long ago we removed irises from this bed, and now we're going to place these metal raised beds here instead and fill them with tulips and dahlias. First, we're gonna make sure that the beds are level, and then we're gonna fill them up with compost and raised bed mix, and then we'll get to planting.
This one, yeah, we
So now that we have these raised beds fairly level, our ground does slope significantly. We're gonna start filling them, but it is starting to rain. So I think what I wanna do is just get them prepped for the tulips. And then when we have a break in the rain, we'll come back and put tulips in. So we have these things out of the way. Just trying to make things easy on us, deal with too much wet stuff. We have compost and soil. We also have mulch, but we're gonna put compost to about here and soil to here, and then we'll put the tulips in there, and then we'll fill the rest of the bed up with soil and top it with mulch. So that's what we're gonna do next. Full-blown raining.
it's full-on thing.
Almost all of it, but not quite, because I need some. Maybe I should just do what I need in there.
Well,
Before you put that in there, let me get a little shot of what it looks like.
yeah.
So now they've got about a third full of compost. I'm gonna add the raised bed potting mix.
No, we don't have.
Probably just like one bag, and then the next bag can cover the tulips.
No, we don't have bolt-on. That's not really. That's where we got hurry. That's where we got hurry.
So since it started raining even harder, we've got the beds prepped for bulbs. We just need to put bulb tone and then the bulbs, and then we'll just put another bag of soil and the mulch, and then we'll put fresh mulch around the raised beds that we just put in there. So we're just gonna wait for a break in the rain, and then we'll come back to it. This is what gardening in Oregon looks like in the fall and winter and spring. I miss summer already. Well, it's been 3 days since we stopped the project because it has been pouring down rain for a solid 3 days. I mean, pouring down rain. And we have a little break for like 2.5 hours. So we are gonna finish this project because I really want to get my tulips in the ground or in these containers as soon as possible, because we're like really pushing it in, you know, time frames for the bulbs to get in the ground. Our next project will be putting daffodils in the ground, but we can do that in the garage because they're going to be in individual containers that are smaller that I can carry out into the garden, not these raised beds, right? So, and it does have a little, like, I can feel it in my throat. It's cold out here, you know, that coldness that hits you. Anyhow, it won't be a big deal. I'm going to show you what tulips are going to be placed in these containers. We're going to get them planted, and we should be able to get it done before the rain starts again. So here's our containers. We filled them within the 6 to 7.5 inches that we'll plant the tulips at. So all of our tulips are here, and they want to be planted 6 inches deep. So we'll just pop all the tulips in, and then we'll fill the rest of the container up with soil and then mulch over it so that it's protected from weeds and it just looks nicer, and it's insulated a little bit. And I felt 2 drops of rain on my head already. So these are the bulbs that we picked up this year. This is a tulip mix. You can see it's got reds and purples and creams and yellows and pinks. And we got 3 of these, so there's 90 of them. And then we got 1 of these, which is more on the red and yellow side. There's a couple of pinks, but they're just slightly different and gives it some definition. And then we got these, and there's only 12 of these, so we're gonna, you know, sprinkle those in. But these are a double early, so they'll come up before the rest of them, and they have a different form. You know, they're double versus the traditional look, but it's the same kind of color palette. And then I have this, that's a gladiola mixed in there. I have this pot full of tulips from past plantings that we have. So there would be like red and dark purple and yellow and pink in there. So we're just gonna mix them all up and put them in these containers. They'll get packed in here pretty tight just because they'll only be in here for this season, and we're gonna pull them all and discard them like annuals because they just don't come back for us very well. And I like to change up the color palette every year, which is why I do them in raised beds and containers. So it's really easy for me to change them out from year to year. We're gonna start with the bulk of them, which is this mix. So I'm gonna put 1.5 bags of these in each one of these, and then I'll intermix the rest of them. these don't stink. The bulb tone stinks.
You hear the Joey's dog breathing your way?
Huh? I want half of this bag of these tulips. I'm not really counting them, I just, because I don't want it to be perfect. Okay, and then 6 of these doubles are going in here.
There he is.
And then we're just gonna kind of fill in the little spaces. They could be really tight, so we're just gonna fill in the little spaces with these smaller ones that we have here.
Oh, yeah.
These are like baby tulips from past plantings.
Oh, yeah.
These ones are the ones that would have been the last year's,
Right.
but then these are ones that,
Or in
these
your
smaller
area.
ones would be like their babies.
Gotcha.
See, they're getting.
She looks so cool.
For all I know, there might be squill in here, like hard to recognize all of them because they came out of the like mixed containers and stuff.
Right.
So these tulips have been in a refrigerator in my garage since the end of September, middle of September, depending. And with the exception of these ones that were in containers until like a week ago, I popped them in the fridge for as long as I could until it was just time to plant them out. So hopefully that's enough chill time hours. We'll see. Because we don't get snow or freezes here, we have to chill our bulbs ourselves or buy them pre-chilled. And since this year I bought all of our bulbs from a local buy mart, they did not come pre-chilled. I don't really pay attention to the different like F1, 2, and 3 of the types of different bulbs. I don't pay that much for my bulbs to worry about it. Because the different levels need different chill hours. I don't have time for that in my head. So one thing you want to pay attention to is the bottom side is relatively flat and the top side is super pointy, and that's the growth point. So that's kind of what I'm paying attention to here. You just want to make sure that none of them are planted upside down, because when that happens, they don't grow. Right.
Away. Away.
It's the whole bag. He'll fill the rest of it. I think we will have to open that because it's not going to be enough to, and maybe those are good sparse spots around the containers. Not quite the whole bag though. Thick, so.
There's one.
If you want to just well, it doesn't look like much now, but it's clean and it's done and they're built and there's mulch on top of them and around them, and we're excited about it. So let me show you what it looks like from the street so you get a good idea of kind of the structure that we're providing this space, which I'm really loving it because everything's just very like wild cottage garden, and that gives it some really good anchors. So that's really exciting to get that project done. I know it's kind of silly when we plant bulbs and then there's nothing to really show for it, but it's the magic of gardening is just dreaming of the future and knowing and having faith that it's going to be amazing in just a few months. So yeah, and I really love these beds. We obviously love these beds. These are the third pair. Yeah. This is the third pair of these particular beds that we've purchased for the garden. And we're just kind of like putting them everywhere. I think I need some down in the lower garden now.
Yeah, hey. It's all that symmetry.
Yeah. Anyway, they are galvanized metal and they're coated, so they shouldn't rust for a very long time. Hopefully, we'll see. Time will tell. We do live on the Oregon coast. There's salt in the air. We don't know.
We'll find out.
Yeah, and everybody's loving that rust.
The patina look.
Yeah, they're calling it patina. It's rust, people. It's rust. Anyway, maybe I'll embrace the look if all my beds start turning rusty. But for now, I'm happy with the coated gray. Anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you were inspired to get out there and plant some bulbs. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.